Hello and welcome. This is Jeremy. In this tutorial, this is part 4 of this tutorial where we are creating from scratch a Nuxt 3 application that can use Google Authentication like this. All right. So if you haven't seen the 3 previous parts, I recommend you go there because they build up upon each other. So in the last video, we managed to log in here and then grab the user's token, and this token is actually contains data. Let me see here, value of I don't know what I'm doing here, but it is a JWT token and it contains the data of the user. Now we need to send this into the backend, and then we're going to exchange it for actual user information. Okay, and the way we do that is we need to go to npm, and we're going to download the Google Authentication library. And it's Google Auth library, like that. So we're just gonna get that Google Auth library. So you're gonna go to get a new terminal and just say yarn add Google Auth library. Okay, and you have it. We're gonna go to our endpoint here, and I put this in to remind myself what we'll be doing next. All right, so in the Google Auth library, so what we want to do is we want to verify the let me go back here. What we want to do is to verify the Google ID token. When you search that in Google, you're gonna find verify the Google ID token on your server side, but I'm going to show you how what the code looks like. When you scroll down here, authentication, scroll down here, you're gonna get this. So we already have installed the Google Auth library. We're going to copy that and then just copy this function here. So we're going to go back here, and we're just going to, for now, I'll just put this outside here. All right. Okay, so let's try to understand this. So we're going to grab this auth to client class or instance, and then pass in the client ID, and this client ID is this one that we grabbed, we're working with in the front end. So we're going to grab that and place it here, and also place it here, and the token is this token that we are creating, this credential that we got from the Google sign-in component. So what we're going to do now is, first of all, we need to write this in ES6 form with import. We're going to put it right up here. So we're just going to say, actually, we're just going to say import auth to client from Google library, just like that. And then we need to get this client ID. So we need to pass this client ID from here. Right now, I already created. So what we need to do here, let me just delete this so we can do it together. So what you need to do is create an env file. Let's call it .env. Whoa, I didn't see it. Did I put it in here? No. So right up there, we're just gonna create a .env environment file, and then we're gonna put in here, we're gonna say Google client ID, and we're gonna copy this client ID that we got, or really we're gonna cut it. I'm gonna paste it right there. save, and then in the Nuxt config here we're going to say process dot environment Google client ID, and then we're going to save it. Now we also need to create a runtime config environment so we can pass it to our endpoint here. The way we do that is we're going to say runtime config like that. It's an object, and then we're going to say that Google client ID is going to grab that from process env Google client ID. So now we'll grab this, pass it over here, and then pass it to the back here. And the way we do that, we're going to create a variable called config, const config equals I'm going to call it use runtime config, like that. So now this config is going to have all these variables that are, it's going to have all the variables that are here. All right, so then we can say we need to pass the client ID here and client ID here. So we can also just say right here that the Google client ID equals config Google client ID, like that. And then we'll just copy and paste this up here. Place that there, and we'll place that here. And then this token is going to be this token, this body token here. So what we could do here is actually name it and call it body token. All right, and then we're going to modify this function, this verify function, and we're going to say that it takes in a token, which is a string, and then this token will be passed here. The audience is the Google client ID, and then this so user ID is part of payload. I actually don't think we need that. I'm going to just copy that, and what I'm going to say here is that let's see, this is actually different. So this is the verify function. So what I'm going to say here is that we're just going to return payload. So yeah, let's see, we're going to return payload. And then this verify, this instance of the verify function, we're going to grab this and put it right here, and place the token right in there. Let me clean up things here. This client is going to go up here. Make this smaller just in case you're having trouble seeing everything. All right, so we have this function. It's a function, and what it does, it's passed the token, then it verifies that token, and then if all is good, there's a payload, and then it returns this payload. We'll do some checks later to make sure that, you know, we have a good error checking system. And then we get this token, so we expect to get this payload back here. So this payload, which should be the user data, right? So I guess I'll just call this user, And then here we should just return the user, which is going to be an object. So I'm going to get rid of this. So let's try this. We're going to clean it up some more. So this is what the code looks like. We might need to restart the server, but I'm not sure. Let's give this a shot. Okay, looks like we're starting already or something. All right, so it seems to be all good. Or not quite. Okay, there we are. So what happens when we try to log in? Okay, there we go. See that? So we have successfully grabbed the user, verified the user, and successfully grabbed the user data here. This is like my personal data, but I'm gonna get rid of these accounts. This is just to help you learn, right? So we've successfully done that. So let's go back into the code and just add some error checking here. So create the client, just make things look a little bit nicer. I'm gonna just make some comments here. So here, Google, I guess this is all or something. I don't know. I'll just call it client. Here I'm gonna say get runtime config variables. This is the main endpoint here. So this, I'm gonna say slash, do that. So this is the token. This is the just call it JSON web token from Google, and then description. I'm gonna say verifies JSON web token and returns user data. If token is valid. All right, and then the next thing we're gonna do is so let's see here. I'll just call this the I guess the API handler or something. Handler. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger now. So get body token. So this could be null just in case. So we want to be able to check. So we're gonna say if there's no token, we're going to return. We're going to return an object, and now I'm going to just return an object that's going to say status is fail. Actually, no, I'm just going to say fail. And then I'm going to say error. And we just say that no token provided. Might even be better to return an error, to just throw an error. Actually, yeah, let's do that. We're gonna throw, I'm gonna say create error. And this is a Nuxt error, and we're gonna say status code for no token. I think it's for bad information, maybe 400. We'll check it out later. And then status message. Invalid token provided. No token or invalid token provided. Okay, if there's no token. Otherwise, if they're always good, we get the user back. But this user, we could also get, let me see if we have a token. Or we just see if we have a token, make sure we have a token, get the user, goes to payload ticket, get payload, return payload. Okay. but this could also return undefined, which is fine. We just handle it here. No, I think we just, yeah, I think this is fine. This is fine for now. All right, so we're gonna save this. We're gonna go back to the front end to login.view. So we expect to get a user back and say we're doing console.log user, which is what we saw. So this is pretty much it. But now, gonna refresh. Actually, I didn't need to do that. So when you do this, we get the user data. So this should be working fine for you. But now what we want to do is be able to grab this data and then just navigate to a dashboard, or to change this when somebody signs in like that and all is good. We can log into the dashboard, you know, and then we probably don't need the settings and all that, and we also might not need the logout because we're not logging out of Google. We'd have to log into your application, but we didn't actually do that. We just verified the user information with Google. All right, so I think this is good for this video, and in the next one what we're going to do is how we can verify this information and then move on to the dashboard page. And then when we go into the dashboard page, we want to be able to say that, hey, if your information isn't verified, we'll see if we can do that. Then you can't see this dashboard page. Okay, hey, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, this video. However, if you want to learn how to log in with email and password like this, like I can do here, you see that? If you want to be able to do this, I have click the link in below this video, because I have a tutorial that's going to take you and show you step by step how to create authentication in Nuxt 3 with email and password, and you can able to log out. You can also register a user. You have front-end validation. So you say you try to do that, it's going to say first name is required, and then yep, homepage. There's nothing here because I'm not really showing you how to build it in Nuxt application. We're focusing on authentication. So if you want to learn how to do that, how to, you can become an authentication pro and build your own Nuxt 3 apps with good authentication. So just click the link in the video below, and I'm gonna show you how I did this. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next one, we're gonna see how we can add to the application, and yep. All right, so hey, I hope you like this video. I will see you soon.